Welcome back to Black Bear Forge and our holiday countdown. If I calculated correctly, this video is showing on December the 10th, so there are only 15 days left till Christmas, and that's only 14 shopping days left till Christmas. So skip the mall, skip the stores, get out to the shop. Let's make something you can give as a Christmas gift. Today I thought we would work on something that is extremely practical, extremely useful, perhaps not vital, but most of us have one in our house, and maybe a simple hand-forged version would be nice to have. And that, of course, is a toilet paper roll holder. And this will be a very simple version. It's going to be made out of 1/2-inch round bar. I'm not even going to measure the bar. I'm going to start at one end, forge each element, make each bend, and when I get to the last bend, I'll know how much more material I need. I will then cut it off. The exact same pattern will make a paper towel holder for the kitchen or for the shop if that's what you need. So let's head over to the forge and get the end of this bar hot. So I'm going to start with the top end where it's going to hang. I'm just going to put a little finial on here. Start by taking it down to a point. Then I'm going to turn that point up on the diamond and do some half-face blows, cross peen it wide. Let's make sure that's cleaned up there. You can leave it like that, but I'm going to roll this top over a little bit just because it's an interesting effect. This is just a little stylistic thing. Certainly isn't necessary unless you like it. I'm going to create a dimple in here that we can put a screw in later. I think I'm not going to punch the hole because the punched holes end up being fairly big, and this does not need a great big hole in it. I think a number 8 or number 10 screw is plenty, and there will be a screw in the finial. I think I'll get that hot again. Now, some people had seen me doing this same kind of a dimple to create a place for a screw in a previous video and suggested that I do this in a bottom swedge. And the reason I don't do this in a bottom swedge is because I want the back of this to be fairly flat. And if you swedge it, it's going to be curved on the bottom. And that means it wouldn't sit on the wall quite as well. And I want this to sit flat on the wall very nicely. So the next thing I want to do is put a bend in here to get ready for the holder. And you can do this either direction. It just depends on which side you want to load your teepee from. For my bathroom, I'd want to load it from the right side, so this first bend will go to the left, or my left. And these dimensions are just all up to how much you want to leave up here. You do need at least 2 screws, so one here and one there to hold it, but after that, everything's just up to what you want to make. Got a work stand over here. You might hear me moving out of the way because of this long bar I'm working with. And I don't worry about things like this having upset square corners. I just want a nice overall 90-degree bend in there. And I think we've accomplished that. So now's a good time to decide if this is a toilet paper holder or paper towel holder. I think I'll make it a paper towel holder because I've got some paper towels here in the shop that I can use to measure. And my next bend, I want to put in here about half the distance of the paper towel roll. It's not critical, but that looks good. So that roll is 12 inches wide, more or less. It's going to be a little tough to do this without bumping into the camera here. So I want to put this at about 6 inches. Again, it's not absolutely critical. And notice I've got this up in the air, so this bend comes out coming straight forward. It's another great place to just use a torch. But if you don't have a torch, you don't have to. This can be done just like this. And now this illustrates one of the big problems with a gas forge. I can no longer get this whole thing in there. So I'm going to have to do my measurements and cut this off and then put it in backwards. But where there's a will, there is a way, and we can make this fit. Of course, it's much less of a problem in a coal forge. And there again, if you have a torch, it makes it a lot easier as well. Of course, another thing you can do to make the bends easier or more controllable is simply cool off the area where you don't want the bend. That made a much prettier bend than my last one. So I think I'm going to clean up that previous bend. I like this a lot better. So even though there are a lot of different ways you can approach some of these things in blacksmithing, it's a good idea to use the same technique throughout a project so that things are consistent. Now I got something I got to change and I got to make one bend look like the other, otherwise it just looks funny. But that's not a big deal, I can do that. It's just what I get for trying to show more than one approach to the problem in the same piece. But it's not too hard to square that up and make it look nearly the same. Now when you're pulling a paper towel off of this, if you pull in this direction, it'll just slide right off of there. So to keep that from happening, I'm going to put a little scroll on the end, just a decorative finial, and then we're going to kick that end up and leave enough space for this to be a nice loose fit so it doesn't drag. I'm just going to draw that out into a parallel taper. Just whatever you see in your head. We're going to just put a little scroll on here. Now remember, whatever you do with this end, it has to fit through the core of the paper towel or the toilet paper roll. So don't make it too big. That right now is too big. Quench the end on that a little bit. You don't want to pound on it too much, but if you're going to tap on it, make sure you quench it. I think I've still got, it's a little bit short still. I'm going to leave 12 inches in between here. So that's another critical measurement, and I got 12 inches now. The last thing I need to do is twist that so it's parallel with this. I'm going to do that real quick off camera because it's not an exciting twist to watch done. Well, that completes our paper towel holder. Again, you can do the exact same thing, only smaller for toilet paper. Of course, you can get 2 rolls on this if you need one over and one under. But the paper towel goes on there, and this keeps it from falling off. Works just perfect. This makes for a good solid paper towel holder. You don't have to worry about the roll falling off like you do with the little folding ones with just the little nub on the inside. That always drives me nuts. But if you don't need it for paper towel or for toilet paper, you can use it as a regular towel holder and just hang a regular towel over it, and you could use this for a hand towel in the shop or bathroom or kitchen or wherever you need it. So it's a useful item. This is another one of those things that might be good to take to craft shows and Christmas fairs, things like that. If you come up with a pattern and an exact size and make some bending forks that are just right, you can probably make a couple of these in an hour without too much trouble. I want to thank Michael O for the suggestion. I don't know if there was a last name on that and I just didn't write it down, or if that's all his username was, but thanks a lot, Michael. It was a fun little project. I hope people enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, by all means, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. Take a few minutes to watch a few of the other videos, but then make time in your day to get out to your shop, make something, but stay safe, wear your safety glasses. We'll see you for the next one. Merry Christmas.